Morning, everybody. It's 9 o'clock on Thursday, July 13th, 2023, which is the appointed time, and we are at the appointed place for the Bismarck Parking Authority's monthly meeting. I see we have a quorum present, so we'll call the meeting to order, and the first item of business would be to consider the minutes from the June 8th meeting. Any changes, corrections, comments, questions about the minutes? Anybody would care to make a motion to approve? Kyle?
Also approve. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. Thank you. The regular agenda, item 2, would be the financial statements, which we look at every month. And we usually ask management to point out any highlights. Jeremy?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Parking Authority board members. So this is through June, so we got a half year into 2023 now. The good news is that we're actually year to date above budget on income, roughly about $52,000, which helps to offset our extra snow expenses for the year and other expenses as well at this time frame is in line with budget. So that is good news. Couple account items to point out. Miscellaneous income for this month, the $2,500 was for our trade-in of the old sweeper machine, now that we got our new one. And then in the repairs maintenance expense this month, we did have some window cleaning that we did at the 6th Street ramp and the Parkade ramp. Our reserve balance is $1,556,074.
Any questions on the income or the expense items? Anybody have any questions of management? No questions? Go ahead.
Jeremy, I know we visited a little bit about this last month, but what kind of an interest rate are we getting on our money there? I know the city's in charge of that, but.
Right, the city finance department, if I recall, was said it's averaging right around 3 to 4%, but that fluctuates based on when bonds come mature and things like that, and the different investments that they put those in.
Answer your question? It's a kind of a Byzantine affair to look into, but they do manage the funds for us. So, and as I recall through our conversations and emails, it averages out over about 3 to 4% on an annualized basis.
On an annualized basis, I believe, yeah.
So, other questions? Hearing, seeing none, if we'd have a motion to approve the financials.
Move to approve.
It has been moved. Is there a second? Moved by Josh and seconded by Jake. No further discussion. Call the roll, please, Sue.
Josh?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes, that motion carries. Item 3 under the regular agenda would be to review bids for the Parkade rooftop concrete stairs repair. And before we get into the bids, Jeremy, you want to kind of refresh our memory, and this goes back a couple of years.
Yes, Chairman and Authority board members, so the upper level of the Parkade ramp has a concrete stairwell between the levels exposed to the atmosphere elements. It is there was a couple pictures included for your packet that it is a concrete stairwell, and we had this on the project list for a couple of years, just kind of as on our radar. It wasn't completely dilapidated, but this it was starting to show signs of wear and needing repair, and this last winter did a real doozy on it as well. So now it's to the point where we do need to do some work on that. And the one picture that didn't get included, I guess, and this is the underside of it, which there is some spalling and cracking of the concrete itself. So the whole thing would need to be removed. And the best course of action for long-term maintenance stability of it would be to replace this with a metal galvanized stairwell. And we did try to obtain 3 bids from 3 separate contractors for this repair project, and only 2 contractors declined, and we only got a bid from 1 contractor, which is included in the in your packet.
You all have the photos. If you have a packet, do you need to see this, Commissioner? Okay. So Jeremy, and there's probably other questions, these stairs are original to the building, aren't they? So you're talking 1983, probably?
Well, I guess I don't know the full history. I can only
It was
presume that it is original.
Yeah, probably is. So you're talking 40 years of elements and snow and et cetera, so they look pretty deteriorated. Would the railings be reused as part of the new galvanized stairs? Or everything would be replaced?
No, everything would be replaced.
Okay.
Yeah, and to that point too, I think the railings were replaced,
They look
you know,
like it.
about 10, 15 years ago, but yeah, the concrete part itself, I think, is original.
Okay. Questions? Anybody have any questions? The action would be to approve the sole bid that we received. We solicited 3 and received 1 from Vector in the amount of $34,175. What are your wishes? Kyle,
I would move to approve.
is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Todd. Further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please, Sue.
Josh?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes, that motion carries. Item 4 on the agenda would be a progress update for the parkade repairs. Daniel?
Morning, Chair.
morning.
Parking Authority. Just a brief update. The RFQ for management services was released earlier this month. Deadline will be.
Wait.
Oh.
You jumped ahead of us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll wait on that.
We're gonna get a progress report on the parkade repairs
Oh,
project.
okay. I'm sorry.
If you can hang in here for a
I
little
don't know
bit.
anything about that, so.
That's why it kind of surprised me that you were jumping up there. So I'm
That's
guessing
right.
Jeremy is gonna take
Yeah,
that
they just
one.
wanted to cue it up for me, I guess, so, yeah. Well, a lot of progress updates here today for the agenda, but, so this would be for the major repairs project that we have going on this year, that Vector was awarded the contract for on the exit spiral, repairs, and then tendon repairs on the upper purple, or top level, purple level. So those actually are underway. They actually did start, 2 days ago, putting the scaffolding up for, beginning the repairs on the spiral, and the total timeline of the project, I think, is 3 to 4 weeks, so it is underway.
Questions about that particular project, anybody? The tenants of the building are being cooperative at this point?
Yeah, and it's not really affecting the tenants as far as,
Okay,
it's minimal noise, and we are keeping lanes open for ability to park and to be able to exit the ramp as well.
I was walking around the corner by Peacock or whatever the other day, and there's more than minimal noise coming out of that building, but, you know, it's not continuous either. I mean, they have to do what they have to do, so I think people understand that. It's temporary. Okay, thanks for that update. Does anybody want to give us an update on the Parking Authority Management RFQ? Anybody oh, Kate? No? How about Daniel?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I
you.
should learn to wait my turn here.
That's all right.
So, yeah, as I mentioned, it was released, the RFQ for the management services were released at the beginning of this month. The deadline will be August 14th at 4 p.m. So that's basically it. It's on the website. If you go to the main page of bismarcknd.gov and click on bids, it'll be right there. So that's all I have.
So if you would explain to us once we receive, and the deadline is reached and the proposals are received, what's the next step?
Sure. So there will be a selection committee made up of the chair of the parking authority, the portfolio holder from the city commission, and another parking authority member. So I guess that's a point of discussion, I suppose. And then that selection committee will bring it back to this body for the approval. And that's, I think, scheduled for September. We have until the end of the year. The
Right.
contract is until December.
Okay, anybody have questions of Daniel or any questions on that process? Okay, as we move forward, so would the selection committee bring back a recommendation or bring back all of the proposals for the entire body to vote on, or?
I think the last time we did it, it was a
I
recommendation.
think it was too, yeah. And that's been about 4 years,
Yeah,
I think? Okay. All right, thank you, Daniel.
sure.
You're free to go. That's it for the regular agenda. We have other business. There's a pay request from Walker Consultants. Jeremy?
Mr. Chairman, authority board members, we did receive a billing from Walker Consultants for the construction documents prep that was part of the total RFP package, but this is for the remaining portion for just the documents prep of $14,866.15. This would be There was a 50% down initially, and this is the remainder of that portion of the bill.
Action would be to approve or deny the request. What are your wishes? Probably should approve it.
So approve, I'll move to approve.
Motion to approve by Kyle, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Todd. Any further discussion on the motion? Please call the roll, Sue.
Josh,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Jake,
Yes.
Jim.
Yes, that motion carries. Under other business, item 6B would be an update on Red Wing Shoe Store's lease extension. Jeremy has been working with them and consulting with me on a lease renewal, but he's going to give us the latest and greatest status update of that particular item.
Yep, so, Mr. Chairman, Authority Board members, we, they're, Red Wing Shoes, I think the longest tenant now in the building occupied since 1985. They actually, their latest lease extension did expire at the end of June. And we negotiated a short-term, 3-month lease with them because they're in a transition at this point, not knowing if they're gonna move or not, and they just needed a little more time to figure that out with their corporate office. And so, more to come on that after their short-term extension expires.
Yeah, and how long is the extension?
3 months through the end of September.
Okay. And again, this is not an atypical situation where a retail store has been downtown a very, very long time, but and the local management people want to stay in the location. It's my understanding that corporate, which is out of state, think they should maybe be up on a high traffic, whatever. So we can't control that, but hopefully they'll make the right decision. If not, do we have a plan in place to market that space, look for other tenants?
I think we would have to look at options to go ahead and market it for outside firms. And I know we have a CRA group that's currently marketing the old Thrifty White space, and it may work to include that, but I think we'd have to go out for some bids on that since it is a separate space.
So that was my next question. Are we getting any inquiries or action on the vacant space?
I have not, I don't think we're getting a lot of traffic, as we know that the commercial
Very slow.
market downtown is still pretty soft.
Kyle, you
I
can
know
weigh in if
Kyle
you
can
want.
weigh in too, I guess.
Yeah, just to comment on that, we have had a few showings in the property, but the downtown market continues to be relatively soft. So.
Any questions, anyone, on the parkade? So we will see, hopefully, maybe by the August meeting, we have a renewal with Red Wing. That would be great. Can you remind us what the revenue is probably in the financial? What do they pay a month?
Actually, I don't have those
Okay.
figures directly in front of me.
Okay, very good. Any questions, anybody on that one? Well, we're at item 7 under other business. Anybody have any other business? Is there an update from the downtowners on things?
Wow, who was here? I just need to, Mr. Chairman, you said things from 1983 are getting old and deteriorated, and I take umbrage with that. We're still doing pretty good over here from 83. Couple things that we just wanted to let you guys know about, and the chairman knows about this because he'll see it later this afternoon, but the budget insight for redevelopment is coming in for design review at the Renaissance Zone Authority later today. And it's, if you haven't had a chance to look through the agenda packet, please do. It's a good design. It's, looking at about 100 units on that site. And then there's some parking. As I understand it, the alley's not necessarily a public alley space. Well, it kind of is, and there's some easements and things like that, but there'll be some parking in the alley, some parking spaces there. And then the closest ramp that they, are closest to is the 3rd Street ramp. There's, decent capacity there if people choose to use the ramp that are living there. So that's still somewhat dependent on whether the Renaissance Zone program comes back and how that project moves forward. But take a look at the agenda item. I think you'll really like what it looks like. And Lander Group is really good at engaging the street / having kind of some little spaces within the building or within the property for their tenants and stuff. So there's some courtyard spaces. It's going to be really nice, especially compared to what we are replacing it with.
What's
So,
there now?
Yeah. A couple other things, just on a new ramp construction. We did speak with one of our council members that does ramp construction in Fargo and other areas. And I know the chairman and I had discussed kind of what the timelines were for the precast concrete panels. Since we were talking about 18 months, and this was maybe 2 years ago or so, that's really sped up. So maybe like they're 6 months out now if we put it in an order. So it's gotten a lot better, at least according to our council members that do that and are bidding other parking ramp projects out of Fargo. So that's good news.
What do they have to say about cost, or did you not get there?
We did ask about the per stall cost. I'll get you those. I don't remember exactly what they were, but I'll get you those numbers. Yeah, the timeline has sped up. Fargo's looking at a parking ramp for their airport, and so I think we'll probably get a good idea of what the costs and things are there. Fargo's also looking at a potential parking ramp for another development called The Wave by Epic, which is in South Fargo. So we'll probably get a couple of good ideas of what it costs to build a parking ramp in North Dakota from Fargo in the next little while here. And then the timelines as well for building them. I feel like I had one other thing for you guys.
Too early to start talking about street fair. We can deal with that next month.
It's coming. It's our 50th year. September 15th and 16th will be the street fair. So Don is busy getting that all figured out. Yeah, as Kyle had mentioned, the market downtown, it's interesting. The residential market is fantastic downtown. Yeah, office space just with the hybrid and working from home. And then the state allowing work from anywhere in the state of North Dakota. The office market, not just downtown, but everywhere in Bismarck, is pretty darn soft. So residential is really cruising downtown. But yeah, the office space, not so much. Lander did move about 25 of their units in June 1st of their 91 total. They still have some punch list items on some of the units and things like that, but we toured that great building. So they'll be doing well. Overall, the housing market's been really good. I know it's been kind of an experiment for us in the last 5 years. Would people respond? How many cars are they bringing? They're not bringing a lot of cars, at least on the Denizen project, not as many as we had thought initially. That might change, but so all in all, it's working out pretty good.
More bicycles than cars.
You know, Lander, when we toured the Renaissance lofts, every parking space also has a bike rack thing that's on the wall for each parking space underground. So we'll see if they get used. But yeah, I think things are going okay. We're really working on that Renaissance zone renewal. That is top of mind. So I think we'll be going to all the taxing entities, and I think Daniel's presenting some things next week to Burleigh County. And the mayor has also done some financial information for the county and the schools and the parks that he's
A
sent
return
out.
on investment scenario.
But if anybody has any questions for me?
Any questions of Kate and/or of Daniel on the status of the Renaissance Zone renewal?
Daniel, that's next week. You're going for the,
It'd be
just,
the 19th for
Yeah.
just some information.
All right. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Questions, anyone? Thanks, Kate. Anyone else have anything else for the good of the order? Anybody? Anybody? Speak now or wait until, when do we wait until? August 10th is our next scheduled meeting. So if there's no further business and no objection, we officially stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.